All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are mapped into a brand new overlay for a brand new game to Myth Brigade. Our storyteller tonight is Byron Wingate, and he's going to be taking us into the fall of London, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition campaign. You may recognize some of this cast, and I'm really excited to be playing with them again. But Byron, this is your show, so why don't you do your thing?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Of course I have to be muted.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, so
You're muted.
welcome guys to the Fall of London, our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition game that we're going to be having here now. Welcome back most of the cast, but eventually all of the cast of our Knights Black Agents game. We just couldn't get enough blood drinking, and you know, if you can't beat them, join them. But they did beat them, but they decided to join them anyway. Well, actually, I decided for them, but whatever. But yeah, so we're going to be going into the Fall of London. Right now, we'll be using the Mophidius Paradox Entertainment one. But if we're still playing this in November, then we might use some of the stuff from the new version. Mostly just some tweaks and stuff like that I have heard. So, but yeah, welcome to our vampire game. You obviously know the cast here, of course. The lovely Miss Tara Roy, the enigmatic Mr. Brent Adams, the overly aggressive Mr. Tyler Wingate, and of course our tech wizard, Mr. Jason Jones.
Yay!
And eventually Mr. Dan Kaplan will be coming back. He's having a fun time. We'll let him
He's
tell
on
you guys.
vacation.
It's on vacay. Yeah. So, but he would join us eventually. So yeah, with that, let's kind of go around the horn. I will caveat that this is our first time playing Vampire the Masquerade on the stream. Been
Or
running
ever.
the game locally. Some people have never played, so if you want to learn how to play Vampire the Masquerade, I totally suggest reaching out there. The stuff from Renegade Game Studio is amazing, and we were not paid to sponsor this.
This book is.
But we're open for discussion.
This book is gorgeous. Like it rivals Cult,
It's a fantastic.
right? It rivals Cult with the art and the layout. It's worth owning, even if you don't intend to play.
It is beautiful, and I actually have just about everything they have produced at this point for 5th edition, and the other books do not fail at being just as striking. The artwork in them is amazing, so yeah, we're gonna kind of examine what it's like to have, you know, maybe some morality issues or you know, some inner struggle to our characters. Vampire the Masquerade is about different things than, you know, Knights Black Agents, where everybody's like a superhero against the evilness in the world. This is more, you kind of are part of the evilness in the world, and how do you deal with that? How do you live with yourself, or is it live? I'm not sure. It's undeath. How do you make your way through undeath with these things? So definitely like, subscribe, and join us on this adventure. Please give us comments and feedback. We love to hear that stuff, and it helps me as a storyteller / game master to improve my craft, and I do appreciate the feedback. So all right, with that being said, why don't we go around real quick and kind of introduce who you guys are, and so forth. So let's go with Brent. Brent, who are you playing in the Fall of London?
All right. You'll have to forgive me if I mispronounce it. So my character is Dr. Henry Banerjee. I am a physician and specifically an anesthesiologist, which fits my desires quite well, if you will, for my particular feeding habits.
Give them the Cosby cocktail and have a sip while they're under. That's terrible. What's wrong with you?
They don't feel a thing. That is the important thing. And I enjoy the human body, if you will, and its many intricacies and what it looks like when you take it apart methodically. So
what does Henry look like?
So Henry is Indian, and he has I lost the picture. You have to get back to me on that, Byron.
All right. Well, it's also on your character sheet on the backside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there it is.
You can reference that. I put some description if it had one.
Sorry, I'm losing stuff. Here, just come back to me. Sorry, I'll figure it out.
You're good. So Henry is a neatly groomed Bangladeshi man in his late 30s. Some might say a little too neat, but you can never have too much of it. So that says a little bit about Henry. And of course, you'll get to meet a lot more about Henry as we move on. How about Tara? Tell us about who's Tara Roy playing.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm Alice Montgomery. I appear, based on my photo, to be fairly American in origin, or at least Caucasian. What else am I supposed to know? Alice has currently adopted. What year are we playing in?
So this is going to be 2012, but
Okay.
As far as you know, the last you were aware, it was 1942.
It might be what?
It was 1942, the last you remember being awake.
The last I remember it was 1942.
1942. The Nazis were bombing England.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't make up much backstory, I guess.
You're good. So you didn't really have to because you don't really remember it anyway. So, but Alice appears to be a young woman in her early 20s, dark hair and features. Skin is weathered from a light outside with a dusky cast that reveals a mixed heritage. Somewhere in your ancestors, your hands, calloused and leathery, show that you are no stranger to hard work. That's about it. It has to do with description. Thanks. And you'll be able to find that paragraph on the backside of your character sheet at the top of your character in Roll20. You click reverse side. It will show you on there the history that you know about.
It's way down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Yep, that little paragraph there. And some of it may be a little long, so sometimes you have to click on the box and kind of scroll.
Oh, I have to scroll through. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
There's no way to show it any other way. But I will get this stuff together and send it to you better too. So, let's go to Tyler. Tyler, tell us about this interesting character that you are playing this time.
So my name is Akila Abdel Khalik. I am a Persian or a Egyptian man. I am very tall. I can't talk. I have tanned skin. I have long black hair and deep green eyes. I'm very calm. I am a Egyptian archaeologist. And I was. I wear all kinds of gold jewelry. Most notably a large headband. It's a large gold headband.
And then, of course, Mr. Jason Jones, tell us about your character you're going to portray in this game.
In a former, that's too low, baby. That's better. In a former life, I was a man of God. An exorcist, in fact. Quite a good one. The struggle against evil is one that not every man is lucky enough to win. The demon that I sought out that day was different than any I'd seen. He changed me. When last I went to sleep, it was some 100 years later, and I'd lost my ability to look into the eyes of God, have a thirst for the blood. And so I crawl like a rat through the trenches, and I sustain myself on what remains I can find of the almost dead, but not quite. I guess you could see I am still a man of God. Whose God? I'm trying to find out. I'm Father Lucius Thorne. I'm known for being very tall for my age. I have a shock of white hair with one little bit of black left, one remnant of my youth. It won't seem to go away no matter how many years pass. I now move from, shall we say, tainted school to tainted school. There are so many places that call themselves hallowed ground but truly aren't, and I teach the profane the error of their ways. I also carry a nice briefcase that I've had for some time. That's me. About 65 years old. 65 years old, very tall, very lean and gristly. Like a long time, like a runner. Like as they get older, they get their muscles just really kind of tight. He wears holy vestiges, but mine is the collar. So it comes off looking more like a Tai Chi shirt or something. A little wide-brimmed hat.
All right. So now that we have a description of everybody, just so the stream knows, we're going to kind of learn some of the mechanics as we move along, since some of us haven't played before. And, well, to be honest, I still messed something up. So if you catch us making a mistake on some of the rules or a mechanic, please let us know in the chat, because we'd love to help further along our own knowledge of the game system and so forth, as this is one of our first outings of this particular thing. So we begin. Basically, all of you have gone to sleep. You went to sleep. You went to sleep sometime in 1942. The exact date escapes you. You don't remember. You willingly put yourselves in a state known as torpor. A kind of a station, a limbo land between death and undeath, between here and now and then when you remember. When you wake up, you don't have a lot of memories. You don't remember your former selves. Maybe even some of the things that you spoke about already start really in your memory anymore. Do remember some things. You'll be groggy, so forth. So when the camera pans in, you see the London skyline in the background. It's dark. It's a autumn evening sometime in September. It's cold, rainy. You know, the streets are empty. London, yeah, a lot of it packs up pretty early in the evening. Subway stations shut down. Not a lot of clubs. Not a lot of things going on in London. Then we go into this old warehouse somewhere in central London, to be determined later. Concrete building, crumbling. Not up to par to typical code, but, you know, It's an older building. Large windows across the front. And so forth. Tell you about that. So you can see the camera kind of goes down some dark hallways, around, through maybe a reinforced steel door. It swings open as we begin to join the characters. Waking up. Alice. The taste of iron meets your lips, goes into your throat, and down into, where does it go? Does a vampire have a stomach? Does it just go into your soul? How is it that you absorb these things? Unknown. Perhaps someday you'll know. You wake up. You're very groggy. You see a tall man. African colored man, I guess you could call him, in a way. Let's see here. See if I could make this bigger. And folks, the stream, you also get to watch Byron try to learn how to use Roll20.
You said I wouldn't need it this time around, so I didn't.
Thank
share
you.
it.
Right?
I'm gonna.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, it is. You said I wouldn't need it, so it's not there.
Oh, that's all right. No
Sure.
problem. I don't have to show it to you. Do you want me to not
No,
show
I
it?
would. I would love to see it. You can share it, but they just won't
Can't.
see it.
You just won't see it. You guys will have to see it
Stream
later.
won't, but we will.
You'll meet him
I
later.
can. I can.
I promise.
You can
You'll
send
meet
me
him later.
Send me the picture after the stream, and I'll plop it in where it goes, in the final
fine.
edit. That way, it'll come up on YouTube at least.
Can you see it?
No.
You have to just scroll up.
Oh, there he is. Oh, damn, he looks rough.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
this large man, as you begin to take in some of your surroundings, you realize that you are secured to a table, a metal table, through strappings around your arms and legs. You struggle against them. The taste of dirt and concrete in your mouth, along mixed with the iron in the blood. You are drinking blood from this golden goblet. This man speaks kind of hushed tones and speaks something in Latin as he pours the blood into your mouth. You then see him walk over to another individual laying on a table. Henry. The taste of iron deepens into your throat. An unforgivable stench of ozone and some of the smell of anesthesia kind of awakens your senses. Your clothes are moldy and ragged, torn, pitted. You struggle against the table itself.
Where am I? What's going on here?
He
Why am I down?
He mumbles something in Latin as he walks away and walks over to another individual. This same thing kind of plays out to each one of you. He doesn't acknowledge any kind of speaking to him until you are all awakened. One by one at a time. You are all given blood from the same goblet. All tastes, it tastes good. Tastes delicious, like a fine wine after not drinking water for days or months or years. Once you are all awakened, you can see the clothes you're wearing are rags, pitted heavily with dirt and mildew. Your hair is matted, dirt encrusted under your fingernails. While the blood that you're given is exceptionally tasty, there is only too small, like one of those plates you get at a fine restaurant with a portion just so small, enough to taste delicious, but not enough to satiate the hunger which lies within. An extreme amount. Each one of you should set your hunger at 4.
That's a lot.
So both.
Hold on. Make sure we know how to. Make sure I figure out how to do this.
Make sure your dots are unlocked in your character.
Yeah. I did that
Know
earlier.
your skills.
Yep.
On the left-hand side should say
Okay.
hunger.
Hunger. 4.
Jason,
Yay,
are you able to see
did
the
it.
character sheet or just the picture?
I mean, no, just a picture.
Okay, cool. That's what I want to make sure.
Yep.
All right, and then you should be able to find your hunger. Was everybody able to do that?
Yep.
All right,
Yep,
awesome sauce. That's what I like.
We win the game now, right?
We win. Yep, do this. Game's over.
Yay, we're gonna be vampires.
All right. So, yeah. So anyone, as you're looking around, the room itself is basic. There's not much of interest in the room. The walls are whitewashed breeze blocks, and the floor of high ceilings are concrete. A large reinforced metal door opened ajar marks the only exit from this room.
I think I think I would stagger out of this, off this table. Well, we're still. You said we're tied up.
You're
We're strapped
to it.
I
Yeah,
would
you're
strain
strapped
against
to it.
that for sure. I think
Sure.
snarling
sir,
and
I would like to be released, please. You don't.
Okay. So, Reverend Lucius is straining against the things right before you ask if you could be released. So, Lucius, you can make a roll. Let me see here. I believe this is, you're not gagged or free to speak. Can't struggle against them. Let's do a strength. Strength plus brawl, I guess.
so
Let's
if
do
I
strength
click,
plus
so I
brawl.
click strength, it's gonna bring up
Yep.
a dialogue, and I pick second attribute, which is brawl.
Brawl. Yep.
No, I don't get that. I can do wits, resolve,
Click do
brawl, and then
do-
do strength.
do brawl and then do
Okay,
strength.
Got it.
Mhm.
Got it. Cool. So brawl, second attribute of strength. Pool size modifier.
A 0. No modifier. You're gonna need 4 successes.
Difficulty is
in
4.
order. Difficulty is 4.
Okay, jeez, what the fuck? Why bother, right?
You never know. Oh,
3. You got close.
So
That was so
Yeah.
close.
I think
Yeah, you struggle.
he's snarling and he's straining, and maybe like just a couple of the bolts holding these straps in kind of strain. Unhand me! Unhand me!
All in due time.
I have no more time. Let me free.
You have nothing but time.
Mm.
Many years has passed for all of you. Let me explain some things, and then I shall set you all free momentarily once a dinner can be prepared. It is I am a kindred. My name is Adelino da Silva. I am of the Bruja clan. Like you, many, many years ago, not as many as you, but some, I was initiated into what some may call a cult, the Mithraic Mysteries. However, I have only been a member for a decade. I answer to a gentleman named Pater Thomas. Pater being his formal place of rank within the cult. Thomas being his name, of course. I have somewhat knowledge of blood sorcery, the discipline that has been used, the methodology to both put you into torpor, which you would remember entering willing, and of course, to wake you up. I can tell you that you were retrieved from a crypt here in central London. You are currently in East London, in an area known as the Docklands. The year is 2012. You have been asleep for 70 plus years.
Why would you have let us slumber this long?
I'm afraid you were lost. You were lost to the war. The Germans, as you would remember from the 1940s, were attacking London. A bomb was dropped in the area, and you were lost, despite the fact that you lied within your sarcophagi for so long. You were only recently found.
I
Why
remember
would
none
we
of
choose
this.
I don't
When
remember why I
were
chose
we
this.
supposed to wake up?
When?
When?
Well, when Mithras wanted that to happen. Your questions, I'm afraid, will probably go outside of my knowledge, but there is another who wishes to see you once you have all made yourselves better and fed. He says, you can see that he begins to unlock you and undo your restraints.
When he unlocks me, I just rub my wrist and say, "Thank you."
Very well. It is all part of the ritual to awaken you. You could injure yourself or others, should you not be awakened in the proper manner, and so forth.
I don't move until he gets away from me.
Okay. He says, if you would follow me, we'll go into this next room and we can deal with these hunger that you have.
I would take up the rear.
Out of curiosity, do we feel stiff or anything?
No, there's no rigor mortis. You're a vampire.
No, I mean,
No.
not
Not really. No, not really. No, your muscles don't really work like that. Maybe stiff. You feel lethargic, but like angry. Like your hunger has really, taken over. Kind of like when you don't want to get out of bed, but you're really, really hungry, and so you go to the fridge. This is a lot worse than that. But he takes you. He goes into another room. He waits for you all to follow. Nothing really of to see or interest in the room. He takes the golden goblet with him.
Mm.
You do know that the vitae that you were given is vampire blood. It was not human blood that you were given.
That would explain the general spiciness.
That would explain the tastiness and the spiciness.
That's just pepper.
Yeah, this is a little hot sauce in there.
Clamato. It's the clamato.
Clamato, yeah.
So yeah, Henry stands up. He immediately goes to try to clean himself off and just sighs at his dress clothes as everything he tries to do to make them better just seems to rip them.
So yeah, they just crumble. They just crumble, actually. So as you try to like dust them off, when you dust it, just like falls apart. Your shirt just kind of falls into a pile of rags on the floor.
To be in such a state.
Don't worry, we will take care of all of this.
Of course. I stand up, stock still, basically composing myself, and will follow into the next room.
Okay. What does Aquila do?
I'll like slowly stand up and just follow into the next room.
Okay. Alice?
Same.
Not
I want to
saying
be at the
much.
back of the pack.
Okay. What about Lucius?
So he's obviously very suspicious of his surroundings. He gets up, and he's got almost like a bestial kind of vibe right now. Like he's not back and doesn't have his full wits about him. And his gaze snaps between Alice and the front of the pack, and he lags back enough so that there's a safe distance in between. He's kind of hearing some whispers or something as his eyes are darting around. His eyes are very wide, but he does follow, but super suspicious. It looks like he could bolt at any second.
And Henry, noticing this, just says, "Be logical, man. If they wanted to kill us, they would have done it already."
Who are you?
My name is.
Who are you to me?
I'm not sure.
Nor am I.
Everything's very foggy. I know who I am.
Perhaps
you do
we should-
remember all going into Torport together. So you do remember each other, but you don't remember much about each other.
Why do I know your face?
We made a compact.
I remember.
The four of us. We agreed to go to sleep together.
I kicked like there's obviously is a warehouse. There's some shit around. I just sort of knock something over, some trivial pile of shit or whatever. Just
In this particular room, the only thing in there is the tables.
well, we saw how that went when I tried to mess up. I kicked the table. How about that?
Yeah,
Dramatically.
you kicked the table. Yeah.
But it's just sort of I remember nothing. I remember nothing.
It's like, consider it to be perhaps like coming out of anesthesia. There may be a certain delay in things returning. Very long anesthesia. I'm sure it can be
You
addressed.
mustn't let your anger control you.
Another chapter in this curse.
I can't hear you at all.
I said another chapter in this curse.
Does everyone follow into the other room?
Come along now. Let's not keep our guests waiting.
I believe we are the guests.
Oh, yes.
I still want to hang at the back of the pack.
Absolutely. So you enter into another room. Get the feeling this is more of a basement than an upper level of a warehouse due to the concrete ceiling. Larger rectangular space with a similarly high ceiling, whitewashed, breeze box walls, multiple doorways on all sides. The characters, you notice that the door to your room has metal bars that could be locked into position to trap you guys inside. Of course, that's not locked in any way.
But as it appears, if we're being led in there, like they could put us in there and then
No,
lock
it
the
feels
door.
like when you leave out of this room,
Okay.
you look back and you notice that you could have been locked into that room.
Gotcha.
Should you have, awoken up?
So, was the reason that Lucius was unable to break the manacles or whatever just because he was so hungry?
It's because he was weak.
Yeah, we'll call it
We
that.
could-
We'll call it hungry. We won't talk about my strength score.
Yeah. The
Thirsty
straps.
pudding.
The straps were reinforced. Also, they knew they were strapped.
Sure, they
down
were prepared for it.
Powerful vampires. Did you want them waking up and fucking mauling you?
That's why there's only one dude waking us up, not
right. Yeah, make sure one guy
Like,
dies. That's it.
one guy dies. That's it.
Yeah, that's the guy that got the short straw. Right. And he had the knowledge.
I gotta go wake up the powerful vampires. God damn it!
Shit. All right, so there are several other doors here that have similar mechanisms. A series of normal-looking doors that open into a functioning shower room, toilet facilities, and storage cupboards holding industrial cleaning supplies. In the center of this area are several plastic stacks of used clothing and footwear that has been dumped out onto the floor. He suggests that you can help yourselves to the clothing and shed these rags, the clothing that did not make it over all of the gears. However, I would suggest perhaps that you wait until after you have fed. To emphasize this point, he unlocks one of the other cell doors and reaches inside and drags out a series of people. 2 unconscious and unkept older men smell quite badly.
Who
2
are they?
young women in smart casual attire awake that have been bound and gagged. And 2 young men wearing overalls who are awake and has also been bound and gagged.
Who are they?
Their names are unimportant.
I did not ask you their names. I said, who are they? What manner of people are they?
We'll call this one mutton. This one shall be beef. This one shall be... Call them what you will. They are food. They are to satiate yourself.
I zip over to one of them, Byron. One that looks just, being a priest and in my right mind, which is rare these days.
Which is not where you are.
I look them over and I approach the one that looks like the most sort of nasty character, maybe rough and tumble or something.
Right.
Do you accept the Lord as your savior?
So unfortunately, before you can really think, that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
but you're going to need to make a willpower check.
Okay.
And it's going to be a willpower test at difficulty 3.
Can I do brawling again? Because that worked out so well the last time.
Now this is going to be a willpower. This is to
Willpower.
resist the fact because you are so hungry.
Pool size.
That
Difficulties
while your
what?
brain, difficulty 3. Well, your brain wants to do all those things, and I'm going to need everybody to roll also.
I'm not gonna resist. I'm just gonna feed on one of them.
Yeah. I think I look him in the eye, and Byron, just as I'm about to speak, I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was absent for the portion of the class where we said how to roll. So
There's
you'll
buttons.
see underneath the mental disciplines, you'll see health and willpower, and you'll see the little 10-sided die next to willpower.
where am I looking at that on my character?
Under your
Yeah.
attributes.
On your character sheet,
Yep.
under your attributes.
Under attributes, under your mental, to the right, it should be willpower.
Anyone who fails to get 3 successes immediately begins to devour one of the people.
I failed.
Yeah, so I seem to like shake for a second, and then I go over and I like go over to one of the unconscious ones and immediately just sink my fangs into one of the unconscious old men.
So you can, so this is the thing too, so whenever you do go into a frenzy, you can take superficial willpower damage. You would do that by clicking one of the willpower boxes, the unchecked willpower boxes that you have there. It will create a slash in that box, and then that would retain a little bit of control over your frenzy that you have. So you will be reduced to 1 hunger unless you wish to kill one of your victims.
No.
One person will not be enough to satiate your hunger. You'll have to feed from more than one of them.
How many were there laying around?
There's 6.
That's
There
it.
are 4 of you.
Well, it's more than enough.
Well, I mean, we could share.
more than enough.
We could share. We could break one into pieces or something. I don't know.
Reverend, are you saying that we need to break bread together?
I'm saying that I wish we had some ranch dressing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. How does that work? Can we pass it around? Can we take a sip?
I mean, yeah, you just kind of like get in there. So the only way, only Aquila has rolled enough successes, I believe, to do anything other than his frenzy.
I still don't know how to roll.
You're fine. So, and you'll see in your character sheet where it says attributes.
Yeah.
And then it'll have all that. And then below that, you'll see health, I believe, is on the left and willpower on the right.
Yes.
So next to willpower, you'll see the little star or the little D10.
Yeah, if you hover.
gemstone.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah, if you hover over any skill, any attribute, or any of those things that have a star next, little diamond thing next to it, that it'll turn into a button, and you can click it. It'll pop up and ask you about a die pool, which I don't understand, and then it will ask you the.
That's if I
difficulty.
give you a negative.
Okay, gotcha.
So the die pool is if I'm saying, well, you're at -2, or like when you fail compulsion, you take a -2 to like things in the scene and stuff.
Okay.
So that's where that'll come.
So I just need to click submit.
Yeah, you just hit submit, and then it's going to tell you how many successes you need. You can either just roll, or you could type in 3.
It's the signet. I need 3.
You need 3.
So yeah, the difficulty would be 3 when it asks you for it.
And I'll give you the difficulty whenever.
There it goes.
Boom.
So close.
So Alice got 2 of 3. So yeah, everybody, pretty much except for Aquila, just tears into the victims. You do have the choice, though, as to whether you want to kill them or not. So you do know that you can lick the wound, and the wound will heal shut.
Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic.
So that happens anytime you feed from anyone.
Who am I closest to?
Who do you want to be closest to? You have the 2 women that are bound and gagged, the 2 men in overalls that are also bound and gagged, and the 2 men who, yeah, they smell like they just got out of a dumpster behind a Five Guys after like a week.
I want to be. Prefer to be near the handsomest man there.
Okay. One of the guys in overalls seems to be relatively stocky built.
So Byron,
Looks
we
like
know
maybe he was manhandled.
if biting someone would transmit the disease as well, or the.
It does not.
Okay, it does not.
No,
okay.
it does not. You would know that.
Okay.
Basic things about vampires, you know, your own history and memories, is what you don't in some cases.
Yeah.
It flashes.
Would I understand why I keep hearing these voices?
Yeah.
In my past, okay.
I just tisk and wipe my mouth, and I'm like, so messy. I don't, not enjoyable at all, and they stink. Well,
Does
food's food, I suppose.
Does anyone wish to fully satiate their hunger to 0?
No, I don't. I'd
Yeah.
rather not kill my dinner.
I go after a second victim. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he finishes and that's not enough. That's not enough.
So you basically take 2 from one and 2 from another.
Yeah.
And then that way, neither one of them is reduced to having to go to the ER
Yeah, no.
per se.
Yeah, there you go.
I take 3 from the first one, and then I'm like, and then I turn to our to our benefactor, and I'm like, do you perhaps have a hypodermic needle sitting around, or something that's a little bit more civilized, if you will?
I'm afraid I do not have those things. Civility is for a later time.
The vampire says civilized.
I spit on the ground and walk away. Just, and I'm talking to someone for whatever reason.
I'm afraid I don't quite get the joke, but but
I
just
don't
He's like,
think
I
he
am
does
civilized,
either.
biatch. I eat with a fork.
just because we feed off of them doesn't mean we need to eat off of them like animals.
I know.
It's like, but in my opinion, we owe them a certain amount of respite. Wouldn't you agree? I'm like, oh yes, this one will definitely need to go to the to the hospital. By the way, I point at the one I drained 3 from. It's like he is in a critical state. You probably only have about 20 minutes or so. I'm not sure why I know that.
So Byron, how much willpower would it take me to not completely drain my victim at this point?
So you don't have to make willpower to not drain your victim. So you just are in a frenzy. So you know what I mean. So you just that would have been to resist just running over them. So you didn't really necessarily resist that. So you didn't have to spend any willpower. But if you wanted to like take a back seat slowly walk over,
Mhm.
rather than just like, give me the damn dinner.
I do like to toy with my food.
Okay. So that was
But I-
going to require you to make willpower.
That's
You could
what I'm
take-
wondering.
Yep. So one point of superficial willpower damage. So you basically just click one of those willpower boxes, and a splash mark will appear in it. And that's it. You have total player agency to do whatever you want at that point.
Is that what it takes to stop feeding and not finish off our?
No, that's what it takes just
No,
to
it's-
not just purely go do that. Like if you want to take some mental figuring out who they are, talk to them or whatever. Otherwise, you're just like, that victim that's been on the island for 2 years and hasn't eaten. You're like, ah. You still don't kill them. That's still your choice.
Gotcha.
So I am going to take my time, and I am going to enjoy the first meal that I have had in ages. And I am going to flirt with this man and just be incredibly almost sexual, but not quite. I mean, just very overtly suggestive as I enjoy. I'm going to enjoy him texturally and flavorfully, and I'm going to enjoy his fragrance as
Are you being intimidated at all?
No. Entirely more seductive, except
That's good.
I'm not asking his permission.
Got it. Okay. Fantastic. You definitely can accomplish that. Like, you look around and you're having, you can lead him off, away from being right next to everyone else if you wish,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. You can't go too far. But there is like a cell that they were in, if you want some more privacy. There's also the shower room, and there's another room that kind of leads off from there also. It has some tarpaulins and other items in there.
So for the first one, so how many points are we getting back?
So you get 1 point. So you can decide how many you want to take from a victim.
Mhm.
3 is the maximum you could take from a mortal without killing them
Right.
or putting them in the hospital. They won't necessarily die, but they'll be like have to go to ICU. So 3 will make them sick. They'll need to go to the hospital for something, and 2 will just it make them like sick to their stomach. They won't feel good tomorrow. A day of rest, and they'll be back to normal. So you can always choose how many points you wish to drain from a victim. So in your case, you could take the 2 guys and deal with both of them and take 2 from each. And then neither one of them are incapacitated in any way.
Or you'd only be able to take 3 because we have 4 and you can't go to 0.
There are 6 people, but yeah, you're correct. You could take 1 from one and 2 from another, Tyler. Thank you. Sorry, I guess my math was.
We can't go to 0 unless you kill somebody.
Yep, zeros unless you
Yep,
kill
got it. I do kind of remember that. Okay, so because I am starving, I am not going to be considerate. I'm not going to kill him just because what's the fun in that? But I will drain him for 2.
Okay. Yep. And unless you make it any other way, they will remember. Which is fine, because that's probably going to help me take care of it.
How do we make them not remember?
That would have to happen through a discipline. Like
Yeah.
cloud
you gotta
Or
memory.
use
you
that
do something
cloud
like
memory.
this.
Dominate.
Do you hold up with that little thing from Men in Black? Sorry.
Kind of like that, but you don't hold up any pew thing.
And then, so after I feed off of one of them, I'm going to go get dressed. You said there was a shower room?
There's a shower room, and then there is also it's a hodgepodge of clothes. Look like they picked up a couple bags at the Goodwill.
That's fine. If I can shower, I
So
do
the
that.
clothes look really weird to you because, like, obviously this isn't 1942. 70 years later, the style in London in 2012 is a little different than the style was in but there's a variety of things. So I would ask you to, we'll kind of go around the horn and describe, what is this? What clothing do you find? What are you dressed in? I'll let you guys pick.
All right.
Can I feed off my second guy?
Sure.
Gulp, 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 gulp.
Can I cut in front of the others to the shower?
Was anybody going to the shower?
I was.
Oh, well, propriety.
But
would
aren't you
dictate-
picking out clothes?
I'm going to shower first.
So-
I only drained one victim.
Propriety would dictate that the lady goes first.
When the
She
lady
was
is
feeding off
finished
two
with her
people.
seductive habits, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for her to play her little game in the. little
I'm
cell.
literally, I disrobe right there. My genitals are mutilated beyond repair.
Oh!
From-
Whoa.
That's a
I'm
hint into
listening.
his.
I'll be right back.
That's a hint. That's a hint from his far past, which we will talk about maybe some other time. But yeah, he just sort of turns with an eye roll and walks in. And pity we can't feel the warmth anymore, isn't it?
Interesting.
You say that while you're looking at my junk? That's not
I
cool.
do. I actually look, and it's weird because it's almost like there's no. I'm like, did you do that to yourself, or did you have someone else do it to you?
It wasn't me.
Please God, tell me you didn't do that to yourself.
We all have our pasts, don't we?
Oh yes, I imagine.
I don't know. I guess you should ask Byron. He said I don't have any personal memories. Maybe he looks down and he's like, "It really is interesting, isn't it?"
Holy shit! What?
Hey,
where's my
everybody.
dick?
Come check out this.
I think it would be great for you to remember that you fucked your dick up.
No, he. So
I
yeah.
don't know.
I think there's this flashback, right, to him as a priest before this all happened, before God allowed him to carry this burden, where he was punishing himself for some horrible things that he did. I'll leave those undescribed. But with a piece of broken stained glass, crying and praying for absolution, he just And then the next day,
And people
we see
say
him
my God's
walking
so
into
horrible.
this exorcism that cost him his humanity.
That's cool.
Yeah, great. Sorry
That's awesome.
for those of you
That
who.
was very unsuspected.
But as I was saying, propriety would indicate that the lady should go first.
Shall we sit
Akila's
here?
already in the shower.
Shall we sit here?
Yeah.
idle?
Apparently she decided to take the initiative. I will go ahead and set out my clothes very meticulously. However, it is it's a pair of dress pants, functional, classy but functional dress shoes that look like they would allow you to move with some ease. A suit coat, a black suit coat, and purple tie, as well.
Oh, they don't. That's a little too matchy.
Too matchy.
That's a little too matchy.
Oh, that's true. You're right. How about a polka dot tie?
Okay, there you
There we go. Mhm.
That's much more masculine. Yeah.
That's true, absolutely. And I go ahead and I go ahead and just lay it out and nod in approval. Also, there's a watch as well.
go. Okay, yeah, you can find a watch.
Gotta have your timepiece.
Or you could even say there was probably a watch on one of those guys. just
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so they
I
just slip it off.
Yeah, there's
there you go.
there's a watch there, but one of the homeless guys has a watch on him.
Had.
It's not very expensive.
Had.
I'll go ahead and take it and lay it on top of my clothes.
Do you buff it?
Oh yeah, I have to clean it off, of course. That's disgusting. A homeless man watch. I'm gonna have to clean that off.
How did you even manage to touch him to get it off?
No, well, one must do what one must do.
It's a good thing there's a shower. When it comes my turn to select clothing, I'm gonna first look for something a piece of soft cloth because I want to wipe my mouth and my hands off before I start going through the clothing. And I'm just gonna pick dark clothes, very nondescript, very like to match my soul, which is like a shadow, just dark.
The gothy.
Yeah, emo goth. Not that I of 1942 fame know what the hell goth and emo mean, but that's pretty much my.
I mean, you invented it, basically.
Yeah.
Did anyone take 3 points from their victim?
I did.
Aquila did.
I
Is he
did.
the only one?
Well, so you said we couldn't get to 0 unless we kill someone?
Correct. The only way to get to 0
All
ever,
right,
even
so
if you're at 1, even if you're at 1 hunger
Yeah.
and you need to drink from, going to 0 only happens upon death.
Oh, so
person
yeah, I
who
would
has
have taken 2 from one and 2 from the other. Then that brings
Okay.
me- yeah.
But Aquila took 3 from 1.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't got time for this shit, man. I don't need to go to the buffet. I got what I got is right here.
Pick a number between 1 and 4, Tyler.
1.
1. The person you feed from, their blood burns like fire, like hot sauce, is the way you would put it.
Hmm.
And you
You get the
know that
shits.
they're angry. They were a bully. You could feel their personality in their blood.
Interesting.
Do you have disciplines of either celerity or potence?
Polarity or what?
Potence?
I do not.
Sweet. Then you get no benefit. So sometimes you can get, from picking a particular type of victim, you can get what's called a dyscrasia, which is kind of a resonance in their blood. So down the road, should you wish to do certain things, you can find certain types of individuals to feed from in hopes of drawing that into. So like, let's say you had a coke addict, somebody with a high adrenaline and stuff like that would probably help, like celerity or like vampiric speed. You could drain that from their blood and give you basically a bonus die.
You'd be cocaine vampire instead of cocaine bear.
You can, yeah.
That'd be
So
sweet.
Cocaine vampire instead of
So,
cocaine vampire.
but it's more than that. So it's about like passion, and
Right.
you can get a variety of dyscrasias from people.
Here's the argument. Like, it's more than that, man. It's not just, just about the speed.
All right, you guys shower, you get your clothing. What kind of clothes does Lucius pick for himself?
It's a pair of black pants and a white shirt. Smart shirt. Looks like it was taken from someone who didn't belong with this lot. It almost is pressed still. Reasonably well-fitting pair of Oxford shoes, and this hat. It's almost like the one I had. Flat, wide brim, dress cap. A black suit coat, blazer.
It is a
sort of
wide
thing.
brim hat, but it's like a witch's Halloween hat.
I'll pass. You know what Jesus says about witches, don't you? Yeah, so I'll do that.
They're
It's
delicious.
and yeah. So he just suit pants, black blazer, white shirt. For now. Yeah.
So I imagine myself very similar. I get these like loose black suit pants, but I grab like a silk shirt and leave it like half unbuttoned. It's like this weirdly gold silk shirt, just like half unbuttoned, letting all my chest hair hang out.
Like
My clothing is baggy. And Yeah, there's like no V-neck. There's no nothing. I'm very slender built, so I don't even bother to look for undergarments. Again, if I could disappear into a shadow, that's the look I'm going for. There's maybe something like a pair of Doc Martens or something in there that goes with this ensemble.
Well, and thus so garbed, we prepare ourselves to visit the world yet again.
Wait, I'm not done yet. I'm feeding off another guy once the showers are empty.
Might get some blood on your
she's
clothes.
like, get out and shower. I don't need it to wash. I need it to like be a succubus.
I'm playing with my food. So once the shower's empty, I take the other younger guy into the shower, and I'm just cleaning myself while I am taking a point from him, and just very almost hedonistically enjoying the process of doing that.
Like that song from Top Gun. It's like,
yeah. I take God, thank you. I take my time, and I'm cleaning himself and myself, and although it's sensual, it's still not aggressively sexual, and I'm not taking sexual advantage of him. I'm just enjoying my senses as I become less hungry, and I take my time with them. I was so hungry with the first one, but this one I want to be. I just want to enjoy every second of it. It's been so long.
I think Byron. I think Lucius is peering in, right?
oh shit!
And
we're gonna have a great relationship.
he's
This is gonna be awesome.
Father God,
and
I bind.
And for this one, I didn't do this for the first one, but for this one, I am going to, when I'm done feeding, taking that point off of him, I am going to gently lick the wound to heal it, even though I didn't do that the first time.
Okay.
So.
Got it.
Well, everyone's had their fun. I suppose we should hear about what we're actually here for, shouldn't we?
What's your rush?
And who is we?
It's like we all. It's like just by pure logic, we can assume that if we all went to bed together, we all had some united purpose together. As unlikely as that feels.
But what
right
was
now.
it? Do any of you remember? What are your names?
I'm like,
Do you remember our names?
oh yes,
I am Father Lucius.
I'm Dr. Henry Banerjee.
Doctor.
I'm a medical doctor.
A healer.
What other kind of doctor is there?
Well, there's doctors of the light sciences.
Aquila.
Okay.
And what Aquila were you before we came to be here?
Archaeologist.
Why would such an allotment of... Why would we all... We would understand our clan affiliation? Would we understand that to some degree or no? We
Little
don't.
bits.
We don't.
Right now, your memories are just all
Okay.
messed up.
I don't. Do I remember anything?
Yeah, there's a little paragraph on the backside of your character sheet. Tells you what you remember.
Yeah,
Not a damn thing.
In case you don't want to necessarily share those items, I don't throw it out there.
Oh.
That's up to you. But
I
yeah,
mean, that doesn't say that much.
I didn't read the item. No, it sure doesn't. I
So,
looked up
I-
less.
So your
Less-
answer to my question is I don't remember anything other than what is in this paragraph.
Yeah, pretty much.
So no, I don't remember shit.
That's what's weird about this versus the other game of Vampire I played. Is like this is so different because you just don't know almost anything.
Also, Byron can't type worth a damn.
You can't. You gotta.
Got it right there.
But
You're right there.
the simple fact is that we have to have some sort of united purpose.
Use your logic, Doctor. What might that be? Why are we all here?
These
Might not be
questions-
our means.
So, Adelino says, these questions will be answered as soon as you are ready. At least, what can be answered.
Oh, will they?
Why?
Will they now? Well, then why weren't they answered before? You were going to let us have a bath and a frolic in the shower?
I personally feel quite refreshed, actually. I think it was much
It
needed.
feels fantastic.
So we all needed
He kind of backs up away from Lucius and goes towards the open door.
Apologies. I
Let myself air dry before I put my clothes on.
We're all like,
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Henry looks remarkably uncomfortable and continues to hold up his hand in front of your the entire time, and can't even like make eye contact with you.
I'm just amused.
I think Henry and Lucius are staring at each other like this. She's over there.
It's like, just tell us when you're decent, Alice. And
The more you do that, the longer I wait. Just to let you know.
Adelino drags the individuals back to their cells when you guys are done with them.
I find something that's kind of, like a piece of paper or board or something and fan myself
I
to help
think
myself dry.
I think Lucius loses his shit at this. It just like starts shredding clothes and throwing shoes like a kid having a hissy fit kind of thing. We must go! Ah! We cannot wait any longer. Can
You must relax, Smith. Father, letting your anger get the best of you is not the solution.
Says the archaeologist, who is also waiting for the nude woman.
Are you offended
Not
that
required
she's
to
nude?
wait for me.
Are you like offended she's nude?
I'm afraid we are.
The nude woman did not force anyone to wait for her. So
No.
We have time. We
But
live
he's
forever.
It's already been
involved.
70 years. What's another couple minutes?
Like
I am in no rush.
You've been sleeping for 70 plus years. What is a few more moments?
Precisely.
It's like while she's getting dressed, I'm very curious how much has progressed in the last 70 years. Science.
Many things.
That's very not explicit. I'm curious. Could you be a little bit more detailed about that?
Cars, planes, nightlife.
Trains.
Yes, many things have advanced. There have been large leaps since the end of the war, the end of other wars.
Who won?
You are in England still.
Oh, good. Good. That does resolve one problem, I might add.
So,
I'm surprised. I am surprised, but I find myself emotionally attached to that fact that we won.
Important. It is an important distinction. It was not in a great place where we left.
No, it wasn't,
I mean,
man.
but I don't remember anything about it, and I mean, and so far, all I know is I have this desire to indulge myself in any way possible, but this fact about the war, I find myself very invested in that question and answer, more relieved and more connected with the environment than I have been since I woke up.
Each day in life is a gift from God. We've squandered enough sleeping. We should move.
You're a very complicated man, sir.
You wish to
I
rush
just
into
flash
things
you a
that
gaze
take
and
time.
then blush a little bit for no apparent reason. Just,
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because I find him quite droll, actually.
I put my clothes on now that we're finished obsessing about my drying off time.
Got it. So when you all are finished, Adelino leads you up out of this area along a corridor and up a set of stairs into the main warehousing area. Passing a stack of large crates and shelves piled high with various cardboard, plastic containers, you go through yet another door and through another piece of warehouse. There are massive tarpaulins put over what looks to be old artifacts, pieces of older buildings, maybe even ancient buildings.
Is there any feeling of
Recognition?
recognition, or are there any feelings of connection with anything here?
They do look somewhat familiar. You feel like safe for a moment, I guess. Would be a way.
Am I drawn to
Engineer.
anything in particular?
You might be. You might be. Why don't you go ahead and give me a willpower roll?
Willpower rolls.
Yeah.
Difficulty.
Difficulty's just going to be 1.
Yeah.
There's my 4.
There it is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So
that would
that's
be
a critical.
That's what a critical looks like.
Ooh.
So if one of those criticals would have been to the right in the hunger die, you would have, in fact, had a messy critical. This is where your clan compulsion would come.
Oh, lovely.
This is a neat critical.
Yes. Which I believe your clan compulsion is.
Is that on my sheet somewhere?
It should be, but it don't see it.
I don't know where to find anything.
You're fine. Compulsion, I don't think is on there anyway. I thought it was, but I believe it's perfection, if I must say.
Yes.
If I
found mine.
You found yours? Okay.
Where did you find yours?
It's on the. You have to go to
If
the
you
reverse side.
reverse your character
Yeah.
sheet, and
Yep.
it's on the bottom right. It
Bottom
says
right.
compulsion in the bottom right box.
It's a and if
below
you're looking
your
at the
age.
if you're looking at the Bane, it's or I'm sorry, if the book, it's listed under the Bane.
I don't have any compulsion listed.
Yeah, you don't have a list.
Storyteller.
So, yeah, you don't.
No, you don't have any.
To be
compulsion.
fair, it wasn't on your character sheet. But it
Yeah. So
wasn't on the character sheet they gave me for you, but it's perfection. I know it is.
Okay, so I don't have to deal with my compulsion,
Not at this particular moment.
but I have a critical. So what does that get me?
So you're drawn over to looking at them. You
I'm
start
like
to
like the little tuning fork, and it goes ring, or the
yeah. You lift up the tarpaulin, and you can see there is a stack of basically blocks, rectangular area covered in sheets. The air is unnaturally still around them. Smells of warmth and dust. You see ancient bricks arranged to form a knee-height enclosure at the bases of several round pillars. You may make a intelligence and academics or intelligence and occult roll. So this is where you're going to go to either academics or occult on your character sheet.
Is that anybody or just her?
Unless you go and follow her, just her.
If she's still taking up the rear, I would be.
I would assume
close.
that as an archaeologist, Aquila would have an attraction to these items also.
So sure, I'll go check.
my choices are academics, occult, and what?
Either academics and occult, and you would click on that, and then the other item that you would add to that is intelligence. It'd be an
I'm sorry,
attribute.
I didn't understand the last
It
one.
would be an attribute, so you would add. So whether you want to use occult or academics, whichever one's higher is probably what you want to use.
Yeah.
And you'll see the little die rolling symbol next to it. Click on that, and it will ask you for what your second item is that you're adding to it, and you are
Okay.
adding intelligence.
What's the
Okay.
difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 3.
3.
Tyler got it. I got
Oh.
5 out of 3.
Boom, and that is a messy critical.
Oh shit!
notice. No, it's not. It's not a messy critical.
Shoot.
Nope,
It's not a messy
It's
critical.
not messy because she didn't get another critical.
There's not another critical. So there you go. So there's the education critical. This is so if there was any of those other criticals would have been in there, then you would have had to experience your compulsion yet again. Perfectionism for the rest of the scene. Okay. So what you can tell is that they are ancient ruins, pieces of ancient ruins, likely from the Roman era. You recognize them as part of the Mithrarium, which was originally part of Mithras's.
I would speak these things out loud as I'm looking at them.
These are ancient Roman, from an ancient Roman, basically, cult house. So they're probably found in the same place you were, or near. These would be set to the side. Aquila would be able to tell you that this is most likely set this way to facilitate rebuilding.
How big are these pieces?
Pretty big.
Like,
They're probably foot by a foot or foot by 2 foot.
I want to pick one of them up.
Want to pick one of them up? That's going to require a strength check. That's just. I think you can make a check with just your attribute. We're about to find out.
Difficulty?
I'm going to say difficulty is 2.
Byron, you're just mean.
Unfortunately, Alice is unable to lift them. They must weigh hundreds of pounds.
What are they made of?
Stone.
Really dense stone.
Mhm.
Do I have feel any sensations when I touch it?
No, not really.
Okay. We drawn to anything else in here?
He says, I must say that we do need to get going, as Adelino speaks to you. If you would be so kind.
You see Henry just shakes his head and sighs, and it's just like I struggle to imagine how I would be able to work together with you.
With
You're
who?
so disorganized.
With whom?
With all of you, honestly. You're also chaotic and unfocused. What?
I'm unfocused?
Yes, you just ran
Have
over.
you
to a bunch of
watched me?
walls.
I didn't run over.
If you watched me, I'm like nothing.
You watched how focused I've been, Doctor?
On everything that's irrelevant and unimportant. It's like I for one would like to learn about the past at some point, and we've already wasted. I look at my watch, 4.5
Relevancy is subjective.
minutes.
I forgot to tell you that the watch doesn't work.
I tap it and with a sigh, just pull it off and throw it on the ground and stomp on it. It's like this has been a most unsatisfying morning or evening.
What do you have?
You were quick to point
Please
out
hold.
that we all went to sleep together. Perhaps we're friends. Don't forsake your friends.
Unlikely, but perhaps there's things I'm not remembering about our relationships that make your indiscretions more acceptable.
Perhaps you were among my flock, Doctor.
Make our what?
I don't think so.
Indiscretions.
But I digress. We need to get back on track. It's our host is waiting for us, and we're all being very rude right now.
You are right. You are right.
No, come along then. I turned, walk out with our hose.
He leaves you.
I'm gonna invent the term mansplaining today too.
2012.
I wouldn't do it if it wasn't-
Vampire mansplaining.
Just fucking wait until he gets a Twitter account. We're screwed. We're so screwed.
He leads you into.
I silently nicknamed him Karen.
Dr. Henry Karen. So he leads you into a personal office. It's a rectangular room, has a large desk at one and narrow end. Bookcases line the opposite walls. Old mahogany bookcases. The entrance to this room is kind of in the middle of one of the longer walls. The opposite wall is broken by a continuous row of narrow pane windows placed just above head height. Venetian-style blinds inside each window reveal a very limited view of the night sky. The decoration of the room is brown and drab. Not that you would know it, but it harkens from the 1970s.
Sweet.
The
That
desk
shitty
is
brown
of sturdy
paneling.
construction and of mahogany, several chairs arrayed in front of it, and a chocolate brown leather sofa pushed up against the wall. Seated behind the desk is this individual. See if I can get this to happen here. Edit. This is gonna work. Can you guys see anything?
No.
Let me
Yay!
scroll.
Show the players.
Yeah, there it goes. It's coming. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep.
Wow. Can you see it?
Darius
Yeah.
Shirazi, that guy.
I don't see no picture.
Yeah, I see him.
We've
Cool.
seen.
He
Well, I don't
pops.
know why I
He
don't
pops
see a
up on
picture.
top of. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can. I'll sort that out.
I don't. Yeah, I'll have to see.
But I do see him. I see his.
Okay,
button.
cool.
Yeah.
That's what's important is you see him. All right, yeah. So you see this man standing next to him is this man. So hopefully you can see both of them at this point. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not side by side.
Not so much.
I'm not sure how to show you both of them at the same time.
Well, try again. No, I closed mine. Just try. I closed Darius. Sure,
Let's see
Ozzy, or
here.
whatever his name was.
Okay.
There's no, yeah, Darius and note from Peter Potter.
Oh,
Thomas
I see
is the
him.
only
We
thing.
scroll up.
You
If
see
you
them both
scroll all
now?
the way up, I can see him.
Oh shit! Oh, dude. Okay, yeah, I see him.
What?
Oh, hide! Don't let Alice see that, dude.
I can't see another guy.
That's probably for the best.
You gotta scroll
Because
up.
you're just gonna dive at him and eat him. Because he's a looker.
What a handsome.
Yeah. He looks
Oh.
like he should be advertising fake butter.
Yeah, there should be a slide bar between like the chat window and the thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't work very well. I fucking hate this app.
It does not work very well. I will agree to that.
Your mouse wheel will wheel you up to the top. So if you do that,
I don't have a mouse wheel. I'm on a Mac.
oh, good for you though. You
Wow,
can do
why would you
two
do
finger
that?
two finger
It's so
swipey
awesome.
thing. Two finger swipey.
Finger swipes.
It's true.
Swipey thing.
Now that's gonna happen after she sees the picture.
I didn't do it. I did not do that.
You don't swipe, Byron. That's not how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
That's pretty well. That's exactly how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
Right.
Hey,
That's
Thorg,
exactly
listen.
how it works.
It's better than Windows.
Right.
Prefer some Ubuntu, but that doesn't do much for recorders.
Are you able to see him yet?
I saw it quickly. It's Roll20 that I'm having trouble with. Like this.
I got you. Don't worry. We're in the same.
Sidebar on the right doesn't want to keep appearing for me.
We're in the same.
Okay, did I get it?
thing.
Shit. Fuck.
I don't know. I can't see what you got.
I saw him briefly.
Okay. There should be two of them there. You should be able to see them side by
I'm
side.
gonna cut my hand slapping his cheekbones.
A gentleman.
That's exactly right.
A gentleman seated behind the gentleman on the left with the glasses is seated behind the leather office chair. He immediately jumps to his feet as you enter the room. The other man in a denim jacket with stringy blonde hair, standing to the side of the desk, gives you an appraising look as you enter into the room.
What do you,
He clearly, the man on the left, clearly is thrilled to meet you. He asks you each your names and attempts to shake your hand. He says, "My name is Darius Sharadi." He says, "Who may I have the pleasure of speaking with?"
I turn to him, Dr. Henry Banerjee. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure is mine.
Father Thorn, Lucius Thorn. I take his hand and shake it. Step
Yes,
aside.
he shakes it. It's a firm shake. He's respectable. The other man doesn't move forward to shake your hand. He says, this gentleman here, this is Mickey Wheeler."
Mr. Wheeler.
He says, "We are both loyal worshippers of Mithras like yourselves." He says, I'm writing a biography of the great Methuselah and for posterity." And he tells you some information about Mithras. So if I can mention lots of information about Mithras.
Hopefully some of this rings a bell.
Right? It's not gone.
I just sit there and nod. I'm like, yes, worshippers of Mithras.
Yes,
So-
of course.
Mithras was an ancient and unfathomable, perhaps even a god among kindred. He was a legendary Ventru Methuselah, claimed London as his domain close to 2,000 years ago. He came to Britain in the 1st century CE with the invasion force led by Aulus Plautius under Emperor Claudius, and quickly established the Roman province of Britannia, his own private domain. Over the following centuries, Mithras continued to travel widely as he named Londinium as his home, and he would suffer no contest over his territory. Other kindred would dwell in Britain, but only after they accepted his authority. Mithras established the blood laws for kindred subjects long before the Camarilla's formation. In fact, some believed that they were taken and appropriated by the Camarilla for their own traditions thousands of years later. Mithras observed the formation of the Camarilla with interest, but he did not participate in those. Truth is always preferred to operate independently of the sect, although his interests have aligned with it. A source of tension between Mithras and the Camarilla over the years. He says, "We'll have more things we can speak of, but that is a general overview."
The gods you speak of are creations of man. There is but one true God. I worship no idol. I refuse to believe that I knelt to this Mithras.
That
She's
is
like,
up
well,
to
you
you.
did. Here's a selfie, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. He says the fate of Mithras. His face turns a bit grave. Common belief in the court of London is that Mithras was destroyed. One of the many bombs dropped on London during the Second War. The cult of Mithras knows a different tale. That a traitor from within the cult turned on their master and savior. Hopefully not someone you knew who's Father Lucius. And let's see here. He says, however, I and the other faithful followers of the Mithraic ministries now await his prophesied return. He says, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was like, not to interrupt, but was there some sort of omen or portent that resulted in our awakening? After all, or was it just merely circumstance that you found all four of us?
All
around
of the others,
same time?
all of the others were awakened long ago. Unfortunately, you were only recently found.
Ah,
They speak of a bond, as if we went into this slumber together.
You did,
What was
willingly,
that bond?
along with one other that we have yet to find.
And what was this bond? I do not know these people.
So Mithras was troubled. He thought that at some point having individuals that could be used to further his goals and the goals of the cult would be useful. You were some of those. No one was put into Torvor without their own consent. You were all willingly there, whether you remembered or not.
Is there any possibility, Byron, that like little tiny bits of memories might be playing and coming in and out, sort of thing?
They will, just not yet. They'll be
Can we just
triggered
go
by
ahead and
things.
have the rest of our paragraphs? Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, just get the rest of our
So it's like
backgrounds,
it's like you're
goddammit.
just it's like you're looking through a curtain of mushy peas at the past.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like,
bad.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's a really bad hangover, is what it is.
I love mushy
He
peas.
says, don't worry. He says
mushy peas.
the mortals downstairs will come to know further on if you cared of such things.
so what do we
says
do?
there are local transport options around the city. You know, there is a tube, taxis, cars. I'm afraid things may have progressed quite some since your slumber. He says, one thing you should know, Queen Anne rules the city. She holds court. There's an area of the city that is off limits to feeding, known as Canary Wharf. Should you feed there, I'm afraid I or even yourselves may not be able to protect you from our wrath. He pulls out a stack of cash and puts a rolled bundle onto the table. He said, you can all use this at your leisure for whatever your needs may be. Basically gives you 1,000 pounds in 50 and 20-pound notes. He says, I will also give you these. He takes these like small boxes that kind of flip open. And he said, these are telephones that cannot be traced. He says they can be used. Well, should you need any help with them, Mickey will show you how to use them. Mickey comes over and like shows you how to use the phone, basically.
Interesting.
Like you're a grandfather, whatever.
Just information in the palm of your hand.
You know, it'd be awesome.
Good.
Are they flip phones or touchscreen?
Yeah, they're flip burner phones. They're burner
It'd
phones.
be amazing.
Yeah, he implied, yeah.
As
Yeah,
if,
they're burner phones.
as if
Where's-
vampire
where's the
fingers
cord?
won't actuate a touchscreen. That would be amazing. Everybody else
Yeah,
has got iPhones.
that would be
like-
cool. Yeah. No, you could use so technically you could use Blush of Life. And Blush of Life is just with a rouse check. You basically force your blood into your thing to give yourself a breath to make yourself feel warm to someone touching you. Things of that nature. Make it look like you're breathing and blinking. Things like
It's funny to think about a vampire trying to use an iPhone, though.
It would
like-
work though.
So,
But yeah.
so like, So vampires are all using the little
Stylus.
stylus. So we all use Samsung Notes. So we don't use iPhones. We use Notes.
Yeah, no doubt. So anyone can make a wits plus insight test at 2 to notice something.
Plus insight.
Wits plus insight.
Wits or insight roll, add wits, right? Second
Yeah,
attribute.
that's how you
Insight roll, add wits. Yep.
What's the difficulty, Brian?
2.
Okay. Kind of like the standard is 2, I guess. Yeah.
Much.
All right. I'm too busy checking out this phone, bro. Beep boop, beep boop. Dars. What is
Let's
it?
see here. Oh, insights and wits. Where do we go? Okay, here, Tyler. No.
I got it.
All right.
One.
Doctor.
Oh, Tara got a hunger, I think. She rolled a 1 on her hunger die.
No, it's not a hunger.
Oh, no.
Because there is a success. It would
It's
have been a
bestial
bestial
failure.
Oh, yeah, because she didn't roll 2 successes. Bestial failure. Alice is taken over by the fact that these men,
Fucking eat the
these
pointy
two
dude.
individuals, are enamored and in awe to be in your presence. And you are absorbing that fact. And probably, I would assume, from your downstairs situation, using a tier advantage. So you would think that these men basically are looking to you like you're a god in their eyes.
Obviously.
And you are perfecting every second of it. So you are drawn by your clan compulsion of perfection.
And Henry and I are both like this.
Yes, interesting.
So, okay, so how does that look?
Well, you tell me how that looks.
I'm trying to figure out like exactly what that.
So let's see here. Let's glance at. Oh, look, I flipped right to it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So bling, bing, bing,
I did that for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, it worked. I'm good. I'll take it. Dominate blood surgery, clan compulsion. Where is that shit?
It's under Bane. If you're looking to, usually talks about the stuff that can go wrong, and the compulsion is in with the Bane, I think.
It didn't say anything about it. Damn it. Oh, here we go. Man, why does it not have it on yours?
Yeah, the compulsions aren't like the description on the compulsions are not with the clans.
Yeah.
They're somewhere else.
See if I can find them.
I thought I wrote mine down. These damn books, man. If only there was a search function.
Sometimes they're not as greatly.
And my ADD gets so
organized.
super distracted by the art, so when I'm on a mission to find something
Right.
important, I'm just like,
Ooh, squirrel.
208.
ooh. All right. Thanks, Byron.
They're pretty, but they ain't too bright.
What? Oh, I guess you get to roll.
Ooh, what do you get to roll?
Roll one die. Tara, I'm not sure how you do that. Just
Any old die?
Just roll.
It's at the very it's
One
the very
D-
top left. Top
one
left of the
D10.
character sheet. Go to the very top left. The
Okay,
great,
hold on.
On the front.
the very giant diamond at the top above your name.
I see it.
Roll that, and then you can put in a name.
Name of the roll. What am I naming this roll?
Compulsion.
Fabio
Fabio.
or Fabio. I'm sorry, it's not Fabio.
I thought it was just automatically the clan compulsion, but
I'm rolling one die.
one die. Just one singular D10.
It asked me difficulty 2,
There's no difficulty. So
0.
Just punch it. Yeah,
Bunch of
Well,
chili.
okay, so it comes up with a value of 2.
I know, but you can just punch it. It doesn't matter. We'll just
Doesn't matter.
part of it. Yeah. Dice roll. Dice roll 1.
Terrible.
No
Oh, it
success.
doesn't-
Zero. Yeah.
It didn't.
If you hover over it, it says it's a 5.
Okay, so it's a 5. So dominance. So in a social setting, You turn civil conversation into one-upmanship exercising, alienating people that you trust, that you sought to gain. So you begin to just dominate these guys with conversation.
There's a song that you guys need to listen to.
Making
I
them
firmly believe that they love it, that they are looking for my guidance and my wisdom and my charisma, that I am the leader that they have been seeking.
Yeah.
What are
I mean,
you doing?
you're not Mithras, but yeah, they're
I mean, only because I have tits. That's
right. Okay.
Our Father who art in heaven.
After a few moments of Alice just making these guys do
Mansplaining.
whatever, womansplaining.
Womansplaining.
Yeah.
After a few minutes, Mickey just kind of pulls at his shirt, which isn't tied at his neck, so he doesn't do that, but he kind of taps Shirazi on his shoulder and says, and he points to an envelope on the desk.
Zephyros, assuming.
Yeah, Shirazi picks it up and apologizes for taking so long to get to it. The envelope is modern paper, but sealed with wax.
I have a question. I did make my wits, insight plus wits. Did we get anything for it?
Yeah, you noticed that exactly what I just told you, that these men are in awe of.
Oh, okay,
you.
gotcha.
In awe of you. Alice just chose to dominate them with that information.
Okay, I was a little bit confused.
Yeah. And so it gives you an opportunity to read the letter. So I am going to give you the letter, but I apologize in advance because I do not think you will actually be able to read the document.
I saw it earlier, and I'm like, it's illegible.
Can you read it out loud to us then?
I can't zoom in enough to read.
Yeah, so I thought, all right. So I'm gonna retype it and put it in your thing because you'll get to keep it. You know what I mean? So I'll put it in your things later. You'll be able to research it and look at it. So I will read it to you. Who opens the letter? He would obviously hand
Me.
it to you, Alice, to you. My dear and loyal friends, I'm sure you have many questions, but for the time being, I must ask that you be patient. The circumstances around your awakening are clearly unusual, and I apologize for this. Much has changed in the time you have been asleep. I regret to inform you that most tragically, our Lord and Master Mithras himself was destroyed some years ago. Ungrateful traitors from within his cult betrayed him to his enemies. The cult, however, continues, devoted to his memory and his legacy. Your resting place was lost to us, buried as a result of damage caused to London by a great war between the nations of Europe. It is only through recent circumstance you have been revealed again, and rightfully returned to us. You wake on the cusp of a great storm that is about to envelope London in its fury. I, and many others still loyal to our cause, have already retired to other domains, far from here, to escape its wrath. However, one important task remains, which has been entrusted to you as the only remaining heralds of the sun. Artifacts of spiritual value to the Mithraic cult are still in London. They are kept by those who were once loyal to us, but who have now strayed from the path. Whatever they were involved in the conspiracy to murder our Lord is unknown, but they are no longer to be trusted. The items you need to retrieve are a clay seal, once used by our Lord to mark official documents, left in possession of Lady Anne Bosley. A silver ring and set with a ruby, believed to be in the possession of a Tremere, sturdy Sansa. a bronze dagger of Egyptian style, gifted to the Nosferatu, Richard the World, and a Phrygian cap once worn by our Lord in his original Mithraeum, since claimed by Gwenlillian Church Arwen. We humbly beseech you, seek these items out and retrieve them before the storm descends. Also take with you the goblet that was used to wake you, and Shirazi gives you the goblet. Once you have completed your task, call this number 0794 036728, and we will send a team to extract you from London and guide you to a safe haven.
Hey, one more time, Barry. Could I have that number?
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
No,
You're
just
gonna
give it to me
yeah.
real quick. I want to try something. 0794. What is it?
0794.
Yeah.
I think it's 636-728.
Okay.
Garfield 1, 2, 3.
So it'd be plus.
Hey, whoever wrote that marketing thing, it was fantastic.
For those watching this on a stream, I'm going to give away a free Myth Brigade T-shirt to those of you who attempt to call this number using the appropriate additive for the UK, and see what it says or see what the person who has that number says. If it's Jenny from like that song. God. Okay. Sorry.
I am interested now.
675309.
Yeah. May good
What,
fortune.
what do they say when somebody answers?
I don't know. We still reading.
At this,
Is Mithras there?
It's Mithras there. Yo, Mithras, what's up?
Mithras on the line.
Yo, Adam. May good fortune and blessings of our Lord and Master go with you, Thomas, Pater of the Sun, Guardian of the Temple.
Does any of this ring a bell for us?
Not really.
May I read that, please?
It'll still say the same thing. But
Yeah, I know. I just don't trust her because she's a woman. That's all.
damn,
So
you're gonna get beat up. All right. So he does tell you that to connect with the other kindred in London, he produces a card from his drawer on his desk, which has the phone number embossed on it. He suggests that you call the number and introduce yourselves to court. He says Queen Anne is due to host a party very soon in central London, and anyone who is anyone is expected to be there. If the characters, you could possibly receive an invitation. I would like each one of you to make a wits and awareness test with a difficulty of 2.
Wits and awareness. No answer. It's ringing though. Wits and awareness with wits.
Wits and awareness 2.
Wait a minute.
Force.
I don't have an awareness skill. Yes, I do.
That means
No,
you just
I
roll
do.
wits. You wits
No, I
and
do.
awareness.
I'm just.
yeah, if you have a zero,
It's just 0 fucking
No,
dice.
I do. I'm just dumb. I wasn't.
All right.
I was looking at.
Can
the
I
wrong
do
spot.
wits twice?
You cannot.
All right. What did I?
Difficulty
so far,
2?
Difficulty 2. Tyler with 4.
All right. What did I got?
Nice. Alice with 2.
And pull size. What's the difficulty? 2.
2.
Okay.
always do.
Henry is, of course, looking at things. Father Lucius with
Four
with that.
successes of 2. Yeah.
Booyah, 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 Yahtzee. And I believe that's everybody, right?
Yep.
Yeah, me and Jason got 4, and
Yeah,
Tyler got
so
2.
yeah, having any less than 2 is the only thing that really makes a difference. You notice right outside one of the windows, flowing above your head, is a small thing with propellers. Looking through the window, it's a drone for what you, if you
Yeah,
knew what
yeah.
it was. I know, right? Drones introduced right away. What the
First
hell?
episode. There's a fucking drone.
It's a fucking drone, right? So after, right at that, you hear a loud bang and gunshots ring out from outside.
Oh, it's our characters. Our characters are over the hill.
And that's where we're going to end the stream tonight.